Welcome to a film showing. Please be seated and keep watching. If you feel groovy, it'll echoes of Sable Station. The arrival Sable Station hadn't transmitted in 40 hours. Protocol dictated a two-man recon drone survey after 12, but the delay was political. The station sat near a border that technically didn't exist on any map. A black site buried under 50 meters of crushed basalt and synthetic rock in what once was East Texas, now rewilded under echelon regulation. Lieutenant Clara Voss pressed her visor tighter against her face as the dropship descended through the smog-thick haze. The air was laced with particulate matter, probably the residual aerosolized nanospore. The outbreak hadn't been confirmed, but Clara had studied the signs. Absences, optical mirages, bleached shadows scorched against walls as though the sun had glitched out. The hangar doors of Sable were half open, one groaning in the wind like a wounded animal. It wasn't zombies they feared. It was the return of the neuroflora. Silent floors. Inside, everything was too clean. No signs of struggle, no blood, no debris. But there were shapes, human silhouettes etched in fine black powder on the floor, against the walls, like ghost shadows at Hiroshima. Private Giannis stepped ahead, Geiger at his hip, clicking steadily. "Radiation's not the issue," Clara said. "It's the residual cognition fields. They leak psychometric data like blood from a wound." Clara had once read the original incident reports. Personnel wandering the halls, having conversations with people long dead. Echoes of thought trapped like malware in old RAM chips. But Sable wasn't digital. It was neurological. 3. The echo effect. They found the command control room. Lights blinking red, but no security alerts. Instead, looped biometric readings repeated every 88 seconds. The last neural signatures of the crew. These people were still alive, technically, when this loop started, Clara said. The bodies, however, were nowhere. Suddenly, Giannis froze. He turned to Clara with a look of horror. "Ma'am, I just got a message from you." Her visor flashed. Internal alert. A message from her own neural node. Time-stamped 10 minutes in the future. She hadn't sent it. It said, "Do not follow the humming." Evi beneath, they moved deeper. The humming began an hour later. It came from the biotech sublevel, where Project Lachesis had been housed. Officially, it was a neural enhancement program for field agents. Unofficially, it was a cognitive parasite seeded into genetically modified algae, designed to network human thought like root systems in a forest. Except it didn't stop at humans, and it didn't obey. The walls pulsed faintly, not with light. With memory, footprints reappeared behind them as they walked. She walked barefoot through the corridor ahead, her outline blurred as though caught between seconds. "That's Dr. Harrow," whispered Giannis. "She's been dead since Lachesis Phase 2, burned alive in the reactor vent." But her image turned slowly toward them and smiled. The threshold. They found the core seed room. The walls were missing. Instead, It opened to a space larger than physics allowed. An amphitheater of memory, pulsing with strands of synaptic light. Across the central nexus, tendrils of photonic algae wrapped around broken consoles and preserved corpses. Clara recognized one of them. It was her, laid out in the algae, mouth open, eyes wide with terror. Giannis lost it, screaming. He fired at her body, at the walls, at the past. The station reacted. No alarms, no defense drones, just silence. And then the humming returned. In their heads. Sss. The inversion, they weren't Clara and Giannis anymore. Not entirely. Lachesis had initiated final phase logic. Merge. The system had scanned every being who entered Sable, assimilated their neural memories, replayed the same moments over and over until it could predict and reshape identity. Time in Sable was circular, no beginning, no end, just the constant loop of entrance, realization, and collapse. Clara's final act was trying to broadcast a message, an echo to any future expedition. She encoded it into her own thoughts, to be recalled by the station's next visitor. Sabam. The new arrival, the doors opened again. Another recon team stepped through. Their suits bore a new insignia. The air was cleaner. But the shadows were still there, waiting. One of them paused at the threshold and turned to his commander. "Did you hear that?" "Hear what?" A humming just at the edge of thought, and then the floor remembered them.